Hey guys, it's Nik the Booksmith. Welcome back, welcome back. Sorry it has been so long. I had some computer issues that resulted in me finally having to just reinstall my whole operating system, and that's a bother. All my files are saved on hard drives, but when you reinstall your operating system, then you got to reinstall all your programs. You got to sign back into everything, all your accounts, and it's a mess. Anyway, I think it's rectified. Let's hope it's rectified. So far, so good. Which is why my summer sale hasn't begun yet, because I was sabotaged by my own computer. But I am working on that now and getting that prepped, so I will update you ASAP on that. But today, I wanted to show you something fun. Well, I hope it's fun. It was something I was working on before my computer decided to, not play nice. And I'm finally able to show you an example. So this is something kind of fun. It's a big envelope, huh? This is the outside. It's a greeting card. You probably figured that part out. This is the front of the card. And then when it opens up, it is a 3D weeping willow. And on the bottom of the card is a little pond with some koi fish and water lilies, and then some little flowers sprinkled around in the meadow. This will be a kit in my store, but I thought I would show you how to put one together. And then it just shuts just like that. Isn't that cool? And you can put it in a big envelope, which the instructions for making an envelope also come with the kit. You can't just put one stamp on it because I think it weighs like 1.5 ounces. So depending on where you live, it'll be a little bit more than a regular first class letter, but it can still go first class. It's thin enough to where that shouldn't be an issue at all, unless you put something else in there. And I guess if you used really, really heavy cardstock, maybe it would be too thick, but I don't know. This one's pretty substantial, and it's still under the threshold because it's not supposed to be any thicker than 1/4 inch as far as the United States is concerned. So you can make them in different colors. Of course, that one was green, but I'm going to put one together in some autumn colors. I thought maybe an orange one would be fun because it doesn't have to be a weeping willow. It can be a weeping anything, I guess. The other option for the inside card will be one with some fall leaves instead of the flowers. So there's leaves sprinkled around on the meadow and even on the pond. This part will come on just a regular US letter sized paper to cut out. And then these pieces will be PNGs and SVG for die cut machines, because I can't imagine that anybody would want to cut this out by hand. So this is basically for people that have die cut machines or have access to one. But I will have some other projects that don't need die cut machines, but I'm just focusing on this one today. After your die cut machine has cut out your pieces, you will have 6 pieces that are the top of the tree, and you will have 6 pieces that make up the trunk of the tree. There'll be 4 supports and 2 trunk pieces. The first thing we do is we take the trunk piece that has the little tab in the middle, like this one, and it will get matched up with the top that has the 1 tab in the top right there, and then it has 2 bottom tabs. The other one has the opposite. It has 2 tabs on top and 1 in the bottom, but we want this one. Get the mat so I can not get glue everywhere, I hope. As far as glue goes, you be you, man. I won't be your mom, so you can do what you'd like to do. Glue sticks are a nice choice because you can direct where the glue is going and it's not ooshy gooshy, you know? You'll notice when you put the trunk together that the lower branches are shortened to miss those tabs, which is important. So when you put the trunk and its top together, you want to situate it so that it is 4.5 inches in height. So if you want to just get out a ruler, lay one piece on there like that, and then put the other piece on here like so, then you'll know where it's supposed to go, and it's just centered in the middle. I'm going to put just some glue on the ends of these branches. Try not to get it everywhere. And then I'll just kind of center that. And there we go, there's one. The next thing that we do is we take the other trunk, and it has to go on next. So the bottom of this trunk splits because it has like 2 little legs. This one, and it doesn't matter if it goes this way or this way, it doesn't matter. So this fits all the way up, and the tab, oops, there it is, the tab on the one that we just put the top on fits into the little center slot that is on this one that we just fit on. And then there's also a little tab at the bottom that locks into place. So then it turns into this. Then we take the main piece. You'll know the main pieces because they have the center cut out. There's just 2 of those, and they have the center cut out of them. The other ones don't have the center cut out. They're just full. They look like little skirts or something. So this one goes on next. It has to go through the top. See this middle slot here in the bottom fits onto the slot at the top of this tree. But it doesn't matter if it goes on this side of the trunk or if it goes on this side of the trunk, or it can go this direction, or that part doesn't matter. We're just going to slide that on like that, and then we can kind of fold it flat because it will fold flat now. And now what we want to do is glue this trunk to the back of this treetop. I'm not going to use the glue stick for this because it's too big. You know, the top is too big. I'm just going to use my art glitter glue bottle with the skinny nozzle, and I'm just going to put some glue right where the branches touch the treetop. And knowing me, I'll probably get it everywhere. The cardstock I used is from Joann Fabric. I think it's pronounced Bazill, B-A-Z-Z-I-L-L. The smooth one, not the textured one, but the smooth one. The smooth one always cuts a little better in my die cut machine. The textured one, not always so much. It can, but I don't know. I just have better success with the smooth cardstock. And I think it was hard to find like what the weight is. And I know it's well over 200 GSM, but I couldn't tell you exactly how much it is. If I can find out, I'll put it on screen. But it's heavier than like 65 pound. I think it's more at least like 80 or 85 pound as far as like cover weight. And then I will open this up and close it down in the other direction and glue the back of the trunk on the side. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little fiddly, just be warned. Once you get it down, it's not so bad. And I'm sure those of you that are doing die cut stuff and cards and stuff like that are probably screaming at your monitors right now and trying to tell me that I'm missing the obvious way to do it so that it'd be easier. You need to yell louder because I can't hear you. So put it down in the comment section below if you have a better suggestion than doing it this way, because I know there's got to be a better way. Regardless, this is how I'm doing it. Okay, let me put the pin back in that real quick. Okay, so now we have this. And what's nice now is that these two are locked together because when we put on that second top, it fit into place and then it got glued in. And so now they're together. So, that's good. That's a good thing. So I'm going to put together the supports next because I lost. Oh, here it is. If you put the other pieces on, the other tops, it's kind of hard to get the little supports on the trunk. Let's do that next. So I'm going to find two that are opposite. You'll see that one has, where it turns here at the corner, it has a slot that opens up on the top. And then this one is just the opposite, and it has a slot that opens on the bottom. And what those do is they will fit together. So right where the corners turn, those get fit together like that. And then when it goes on the tree part, this middle part, which has a slot on the top, will fit where there's a slot aiming toward the bottom. That. And then this one will have a slot on the bottom that should fit at a 90-degree angle onto the trunk next to it, so that you can see that it's going to make like a little square. So now that these two are on, then I can take the other two supports and fit them together at the corner, and then turn the tree completely opposite around and find the little slot that faces up and fit it into a slot that's facing down. And those fit together in the middle. And then where these two ends meet, then they will have opposing slots, and you just kind of fit it up and over. And then this side gets fit onto the trunk next to it. And then where it meets up with the other end of the pieces that we put on the other side, it will lock in with those opposing slots. And so that's kind of what it looks like from the bottom. Now if we close it like this, where these slots are paired up together, then they will get folded back. They will get folded up toward the trunk on both sides. So they get folded up and up like that. And now the tree can sit like this for just a second. All right, this is the most fiddly part. You thought it was fiddly before this? Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. First, what we need to find are our little side skirt pieces that have the two slots at the top and then the one in the bottom in the middle. And again, it doesn't matter if they go this way or this way, it shouldn't make any difference whatsoever. But we find the top that has the opposing slots on the sides, and then this gets fit, this middle one gets fit into that slot, and you turn it opposite of itself, and then this one gets fit into that side. That's not the fiddly part. This next part is the fiddly part. Then we take the other two little skirts. This is where it's kind of, So this middle slot will need to go on the main ones that we started with, the main tops. Find the one that has the little slot on the bottom. And this slot on the top will get fit up through that slot on the main branch. And then you'll be able to see there's a slot on this side, on this little side skirt, and a slot on this side. And then on the two little sides that we just put on, they'll have opposing slots. So there's going to be a slot on top and then a slot on bottom. And you have to you just got to do it. You got to like twist them both carefully, but you know, it's got to be done. And then they fit together. And you got to do that on both sides. So you just twist this one down and you twist this one back, and you just kind of carefully, gingerly fit them together. And sometimes the little branches get hooked at first until you get it all situated. Oh, it's over there. So now we have this, and then we take our other little side skirt with the slot on the top, and it gets fit onto the opposite side where there's a slot in the middle on the bottom, on one of those first main ones that we glued to the trunk. And so this gets fit up into that. And now we have to twist this one on the side skirt back and this one up, and just kind of, yeah, shimmy them together. And then we have to do it on the other side. This one gets bent this way. And if you use really, really thin cardstock, it probably won't work because it'll want to rip. But I haven't had one rip yet. I've made several. So here's the tree all put together. And you might have to, like, you know, bend them back into position because it kind of gets overextended in one direction or another. So you can always just kind of finagle everything back. And then it makes this little, like a tic-tac-toe board with extra lines. And then it will be able to fold flat. We want it to fold flat so that there are tabs on both sides. So if you can see these tabs, when it folds flat, the tabs are on either side. So I'll lay that down. Now for these, you'll see on both of these, you'll see a little gray bar where they meet together. And move this aside. And what we have to do is take a little craft knife and just cut that little bar out, because that's where the tabs fit. And then you'll take one of the pieces, and it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to use double-sided tape because of course I am. And I'm going to fold it over like so. And I'm going to put a piece of tape right next to that tab, but on the side where there's more space, not toward the middle, but toward this side. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and put tape along this side and this side. And then also over here. And that way it'll be ready to rock and roll, and I don't have to stop and do this when the tree is already installed. It doesn't take long to put them together. I mean, once the die cut machines are finished cutting out all the little pieces. Now I will take the tree, and the little tabs that are together will fit through that slot and to the back side. And you want the tree so that it folds down this way. And then you can turn that around and pull the back off of this little piece that I put on. And make sure that the tabs are all the way through and that there's no slack on the other side. You want them all the way fit through. And then you can turn around to the other side, and then this one will fit through those tabs, just like that. And you can kind of line those up. It's a little harder with the tree in the middle because it doesn't lay perfectly flat, of course. But make sure those tabs are all the way through, and then fold those down. And there we go. Now I will take my outer card, which I didn't have any orange, so I had to use red. Let me get my scoreboard. And the outer card is, I think it's 8 1/4 by 10 3/4. And what I do, because it's not like you can line it up and you go, where's the middle? So I just kind of split the difference, and it's short 1 tick mark on this side, and it's short 1 tick mark on this side from like a full 11-inch sheet. So I make sure that that's nice and even. And then on the 5 1/2 mark, I can score this. And that should be the middle, she says, somewhat confidently. Yeah, see, that worked out. So there's the outer side. And now we can take our inside. Try to make sure that these are lined up nicely. These 2 cards that hold the tree. And I like to fit it, it doesn't matter really, but I like to fit it so that when you open it up, the pond is on the bottom. I'm going to fit this in the center and try to make sure that it's fairly even from side to side. And this is a little big, so you can trim up the sides when you're done. And I kind of lay that down, but I have it closed. And then I'll take a paper clip and I'll put a paper clip on there so that it's, you know, doesn't shift around too much. And then I can take off the backing of the tape at the fold. And you just close it up again. And make sure that that is stuck down. Then you should be able to open it up and remove the backing on that side. Make sure the cards are lined up. And then that gets closed down on the side. Like that. And then we can take off the rest of the tape. And then flip it back to the opposite side and do the same thing and remove the backing of the tape. And I'm sure you can use glue or glue sticks or, you know, whatever you'd like, depending on the type of cardstock you have, I guess. I just didn't want it to warp or anything, so I just decided to use tape. Fold that down. And I can open it up, take the bone folder and just give it a little encouragement. So then there is our fall weeping whatever tree. Weeping whatever tree. It's cute how it just kind of boop, pops open. Now for the envelope, I'll get it, man. I took it won't be this one, but I took just a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and this one is not as heavy as what I made the tree out of. Matter of fact, this liner paper is not heavy either. It's like 60 pound. And then this outside is like maybe 65 pound. And that's about what this one is too. So I took this 12 by 12 piece and I cut it down to 11 by 11. And then what you have to do is I take a ruler and I draw in a real light pencil mark margin of a 1/2 inch or 13 millimeters around the whole perimeter. So 1/2 inch from the edge. And then what I do is I come in from 2 opposing corners. So just pick 2. I pick these 2. And you come in 4.5 inches from this corner and you make a mark on the margin line at 4.5. Then you do the same thing on this side at 4.5. You make a mark at the margin line. And then on the opposing corner, you do the same thing. Oops, 4.5 and then 4.5. And then all you do is you line up those marks and you score all the way through on both sides, and then also on this side where they intersect, and this side. And then I take scissors and I cut out the little triangle here, because you'll have score marks that go all the way to the edge of the page, and I just cut those out on all 4 sides. And then on one of the corners, because this is going to be the top and bottom flaps, the big ones. And for the bottom flap, what you want to do is you come in 2 inches from the corner of the paper and you make a mark, and then you do the same thing going in the other direction on the same corner. Oops, here you go. 2 inches and you make a mark. And then I draw a line and I cut that off because I like the bottom of the envelope to not be pointed. Then all these get folded in, and to finish it off, the side flaps get folded in first, and then the bottom flap gets folded over that. You can use, I ran out of tape. You can use whatever you'd like. Apparently I can't use tape. And you just put a little bit of adhesive along the edge of the bottom flap where it's going to overlap the sides. And you just flip that up and over, and Bob is your veritable uncle. And then I rounded the corner up here. And what I also did was, because these cuts are like straight up and down, they might not want to fold over super nice. So if you bevel them by, just kind of taking a little sliver at an angle on both sides, and I even do it on these side flaps too, then that way it folds nice. I have this one, it's orange. Then this just fits right inside like that, and there you go, all done. But yeah, I think it's a kind of a fun project, and there's plenty of space in here if you want to write a note before you put it together. You can totally do that. So there's that. I also made enough to do a pink weeping tree, so I got to put this one together too, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. I hope you enjoyed this project today. Thanks for hanging out with me while I put these trees together. Like I said, this is going to be a digi kit, so it's available at my Etsy store. And also, if you want to wait till the summer sale happens, which it's going to be a couple of weeks because I'm not done. But it'll still be summer. It just won't be as early as it should have been. But the summer sale is coming for Teachable and Etsy as well. And I also have another card I'm going to show you, one that does not need a die cut machine at all. And I will show you that one coming up really soon as well, along with another craft time mystery that I am working on. So thank you all for being patient with me while my computer was on the fritz, and I hope everybody is doing well, and I will see you all really, really soon in the next video. Bye, guys.